Hello and welcome to Close to the Edge. My name is Pat, where we talk about all things prog rock, classic rock, heavy rock, and maybe even a stick of rock. Stick around, you never know. Today I'm going to do a 5-album ranking of one of the great prog bands from America, Kansas. Formed in Topeka, in Kansas, in 1973. A great progressive rock band from the mid to late 70s. Now, a lot of people on this side of the water, Ireland, UK, Europe, never really considered them to be a prog band, prog as such. Well, I do. I think they're one of the most amazing prog bands of the 70s, and I also believe that they were very unique. They had a very unique sound. They kind of mixed progressive rock with hard rock. Hard rock, maybe soft rock, maybe. A lot of people thought they were a similar type of band to, say, the likes of Foreigner, Boston, REO Speedwagon. Those type of bands. No. No way. Blow them bands away. Absolutely blow them away. Studio and live. Now they did change towards the late 70s with an album called Monolith, which I had on LP back in the day, and that's a good album. And into the 80s then, a few lineup changes, and they're still going today. Their last album was released in 2020, which is not bad. It's not a bad album at all, actually. Don't think they really have a bad album, but I'm only going to do the top 5 because it's the 5 I'm really familiar with. There's a few albums that I'm not really familiar with, so I couldn't kind of be subjective on albums that I'm not actually that familiar with. Heard them, have them all on digital files, but physical copies I have 5, and I'm going to rank them right now. At my number 5 is their debut album, self-titled, Kansas, released in 1974. And a year after they formed, and this is a very good album. Now, the writing on this album at the back, it's so hard to see. Like, this is kind of in a little box set. Excuse me. And it's so hard to see, so I have it written down there. And the 2 tracks that I love off this album, now I like the album actually, I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10, will be Journey from Maria Brown and Our Paracu. Now, I'm not probably pronouncing them correctly, and some of them will actually in the comments say that I'm actually have to pronounce them totally wrong, but that's how I pronounce them. And I like this album. It's progressive in certain ways, and the violin playing on this album with Robbie Steinhardt. He's actually brilliant, Robbie Steinhardt. Of course, you have Steve Walsh, of course, on lead vocals as well, and he does keyboards. And the rest of the band, I have it written down there as well. You have Rich Williams on guitar, brilliant guitarist. You have Dave Hope on bass, Phil Earhart on drums, and last but not least, you have Kerry Livingron on guitars, piano, and backing vocals. Bobby Steinhardt does lead vocals as well. But anyway, that's my number 5, their first debut album. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. My number 4 is Mask, released in 1975. I like this album. I give this a 9 out of 10. This is progressive. This is prog rock. And I like the last track on this album called The Pinnacle, which I think is absolutely superb. A long track, closer. Beautiful progressive rock track. Interchanging, time signature changes. Beautiful progressive rock. And I advise anyone who hasn't heard of this band or haven't listened to this band in a long time, go and listen to this album, Mask. and you'll change your mind. This was American prog at its best, at its very, very best. And I would rank Kansas up there with all the best prog bands. They're up there. Some people say they might not be as good as, say, the likes of Yes or Genesis, Gentle Giant as such. But they were unique. The sound, they had their own unique sound. Anyway, that's my number 4. My number 3 is Song from America, released before Mask in 1975. This is another brilliant progressive rock album. I'll give this another 9 out of 10. You have one of them is The Devil Game. The Devil Game is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant track. A lot of rock tracks on this as well, with interludes of progressive rock, and the violin playing on it again, of course, is absolutely superb. And a lot of people thought that the way they were dressed back in the day in the 70s, thought they were a country and western band. Yeah, that's what they thought they were. Far from it. One of the greats. So if you haven't heard this, another brilliant album, 9 out of 10. Brilliant album. Brilliant. Now, my number 2 and number 1 can kind of flip-flop as things go by, but there's not much at between them. 2 of them are 10 out of 10, I'll tell you that straight away. And this one is The Point of No Return, released in 1977. Now this is just unbelievable. You have Paradox on this. I have it written down there. And the instrumental, The Spider. What a brilliant prog track. Oh my god. Unbelievable. I know I say that word a lot, but yes. Unbelievable. Brilliant progressive rock. There's another brilliant track on this. Oh yeah, Hopelessly Human. That's the closer, I think, isn't it? And then of course you have the huge hit of this, Dust in the Wind. Yeah, it's a kind of a foreigner, Boston-y type track. That kind of track. But a nice track. You know, brilliant, huge hit. I think it sold 1 million copies, the single. And got an awful lot of airplay in America. They didn't get an awful lot of airplay over here now, especially here in Ireland. But then again, over here in Ireland, progressive rock wouldn't have got any airplay really over here, unfortunately. A lot of people don't even know what it is. They just don't know what it is. Anyway, that's my number 2, 10 out of 10. But my number 1, I think it's a lot of people's number 1, Leftover Tour, released in 1976. This had a huge hit on it, Carry On Wayward Son. I think, excuse me, I think everyone knows this track. Brilliant track. Like I heard it back in the 70s, and I wasn't even really into rock. I was only about 10. How old would I have been then? 12, and I wasn't really into the rock music at the time, but I heard this. And it's a brilliant track. Absolutely superb. We'll do a great version on it on an instrumental, Dream Theater actually. They do an instrumental on a bootleg I have by Dream Theater. They do a brilliant job on that. But this is just a crazy brilliant album. You have magnum opus on this as well. And the 6 parts to this is the closer on the album. And it is again fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. An absolutely masterpiece. I think that last album is a masterpiece of a prog rock album. Absolutely superb. I recommend you go on these 5 albums. Go and listen to them. Now I know they have other albums as well. Monolith, as I said earlier on, is another excellent album. But this, go and listen to this. Stunning. Killer, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that's my top 5 ranking of the great progressive rock band from America, Kansas. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for subscribing, and if you just came across it, please do subscribe, hit the like button and all that kind of stuff. And I'd like to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to me and liking my videos and commenting on my videos. I love reading the comments. I'm getting some fantastic comments, and I really do appreciate everybody who has subscribed and watched it. I really mean that. But anyway, that's it from me anyway for another video. I'll hopefully have another one again the weekend. And whatever you're doing, stay safe, and also it's nice to be nice. Very important, nice to be nice. And from me, Pat, here on Close to the Edge, bye bye.